Hi, this is Joshua with this week's Techie tip. The problem you may be having is not being able to acquire a heart rate on the pulse sensors here on your particular unit. And if you're like me, you'd like to track your progress, you want to know what your heart rate is. Some of us have medical conditions. We need to know what our heart rate is so we don't go over a certain threshold. And so we may want to head off a service call by going over a few techie tips that may help you to troubleshoot exactly what the problem is. Now, of course, we go to put our hands on here and we're not getting a heart rate at all, or we're getting an inaccurate heart rate. So what can we do? Well, the first simple thing we can do is perhaps have a friend or a loved one come over and check this for their heart rate. And so sometimes, depending on our skin condition, our skin can be a little dry and maybe we're not making a good contact. So that's something simple that we can do. Another issue is that some machines are a little more sensitive to movement. And so as we're walking and moving around, we're not really keeping our hands steady enough to get a good pulse rate. So what we could try is to straddle the belt, say if you're on a treadmill. If you're on an elliptical or a bike, you could stop pedaling for a moment and then try to put your hands on there and see how that works out. Now, understandably, you may be concerned about an issue within the machine. And so that's something that you would need to have a technician come out. But a couple things that could be happening is that a lot of equipment is equipped for a chest strap, and so there's a radio signal that is sent. And so that could be interfered with. If you have a neighbor that has a dog fence, or you could have a baby monitor within the house, those radio signals could interfere. And sometimes you'll see a phantom pulse rate, as we call it, on there when you're not even touching it. And then when you go, you still can't get an accurate reading. And so you could ask your neighbor, maybe if they have that, or if you have one, you could turn that off and see if that helps. And so those are a few pointers you could try. Try those things. If you still feel like you're having a problem, give us a call. We can have a technician come out and troubleshoot and see if there's something within the unit that we can take care of to get your heart rate up and running. And of course, as one caution, we mentioned if it's important to know your heart rate for a medical condition, it might be best to try something that's a little more medically accurate. Now, we don't endorse any particular item, but there's many of these fitness style watches that we can wear, that you can buy separately, that will be a little more accurate in helping you to get your pulse rate. So feel free to give us a call if you feel like you're having a problem, and we'd love to help.